They extended the eviction moratorium, and what I fear is that it's going to be part of the infrastructure bill. And what's going to happen is people who were abusing the system are going to have their rent paid back, and they're not going to owe anything. And those who did stay on top of everything, that really struggled and didn't qualify for a lot of the relief benefits, they're the ones who are going to be suffering because we're not, going to get that help.
All right, y'all. What do you think Cori Bush's role in this decision, by the way?
I think Cori Bush has been absolutely pivotal in getting real change. She's one woman who stood up and said, I'm not moving. She testified from personal experience. And she said, this is what it is like to lose your home.
All right, she's an apple. Red on the outside, white on the inside. It's a racist term I learned in Washington State, but in my humanity class, because there's a lot of Native Americans around there, and so I guess that's an offensive term, but I learned it. It's, I guess, more of an insult towards those who identify as Native American versus, an insult to actual Native Americans. I don't fucking know. Anyways, this is just bad. AOC did nothing. They were going to pass this in one way, shape, or form. It's unfortunate. I mean, I was hoping not, but they were going to pass this in one way, shape, or form. It's because let's actually...
Well, Sarah, I can confirm, according to a source familiar, that the Biden administration does plan to issue a new eviction moratorium after some intense political pressure from within his own party. That moratorium is expected to come from the CDC. It would last for 60 days through October the 3rd, and it would target counties that have been particularly hard hit by the COVID crisis. That would cover about 80% of counties or 90% of the population. Now, the Biden administration had been concerned that it did not have the legal authority to extend the moratorium. Biden was just speaking to reporters and said that he had asked the CDC to look at some alternative options and that some sort of decision should be announced within the next hour or two.
Why is the CDC making policies? Why are they involved? Oh, we got the science. No, the CDC should not be involved in this at all. They've been wrong so many times. That we don't know what to believe with this whole freaking vaccine and Delta variant and freaking even, we don't know because everything's all over the place. What it comes down to is that freaking the infrastructure bill just got passed. And they're going to include this in it because, human infrastructure, we need, fill our apartments and, we can't have all these people on the streets and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, and then we're going to have to create more government just so we have to create more government for unemployment insurance fraud. Now we're going to have to freaking hire more people to figure out who committed fraud during this. And, they're just pushing it off for freaking 60 days. And it's going to cost just as much to enforce this as it is going to be to pay it off just up front. So all of us who actually paid our bills and, didn't qualify for the relief, congratulations. You don't have to support your family anymore. You got to support everyone else's too.
People behind on their rent could soon come home to an eviction notice with that federal ban expiring tonight. Members of Congress are demanding action that's not likely to come. Our Christina Ruffini has more from the White House. Good evening, Christina.
Good evening, Adriana. As you mentioned, House Democrats just didn't have the votes to extend that eviction moratorium, prompting one lawmaker to take her protest outside the Capitol overnight.
This is not okay. We cannot just allow humans 7 million of them possibly, to over the next few weeks be sent out to the streets.
After a night of camping out on the Capitol steps, Missouri Representative Cori Bush was joined by Senator Elizabeth Warren.
We've got 11 and a half hours for the CDC to step up and say we're going to extend the moratorium.
Why is the CDC involved in our politics? I didn't mean to friggin' put that away. Can extend, but the Biden administration can extend the eviction moratorium. Over on Fox, and let me just get to that. Okay, so this is what Brett Kavanaugh, Justice Kavanaugh, wrote, because they've got to, call him out. He's he's worse than Cuomo. I agree with the district court and the applicants that Centers for Disease Control and Prevention exceeded its statutory authority by issuing a nationwide eviction moratorium, because the CDC plans to end the moratorium in only a few weeks on July 31st, and because those few weeks will allow for additional and more orderly distribution of the congressional appropriated rental assistance funds. I vote at this time to deny the application to vacate the district court's stay of its order. In my view, clear and specific congressional authorization via new legislation could be necessary for the CDC to extend the moratorium post July 31st. It is fair enough to say that Kavanaugh is signaling in this opinion that if the CDC extended the moratorium further without any act of Congress and someone brought a case against that action, he would switch his vote and rule that the moratorium is illegal. But this is not the same thing as ruling that the eviction moratorium is illegal. As it stands, we have 5 judges who have ruled that the CDC can do eviction moratoriums under its current statutory authority. And that friggin' authority needs to fucking end. And 4 who have ruled the opposite. What Kavanaugh says in this paragraph is dicta, and not binding in any way. What you can say about a moratorium is that you think that the Supreme Court would reverse its prior ruling if another case made its way to them. But this is true of many things. I think that if someone brought a case arguing that fair share fees in the NLRA are unconstitutional, the Supreme Court would reverse its prior ruling on that question and declare that they are unconstitutional. But that is not the current law. And where's the NLRB? Do they even... National... hold on a second. Maybe I'm missing something, but they don't actually say what the NLRA... Anyways. Oops. Alright, so this is for Virginia. I have a valid lease agreement in their name and occupying the unit at the time of application. The household's total rental payment is at or below 150% fair market value. The household's total gross income is equal to or less than 80% area median income for location. Supporting income documentation is not required for households 3 or less. Supporting income documents are not required for 3 or less. SNAP. Massive verification is required for households above 50%. Average median income. The household has experienced a negative financial impact directly or indirectly due to COVID-19 or receiving unemployment benefits. Tenant has been laid off. Loss of income. Tenant's place of employment is closed. Tenant has experienced reduction in hours. Must stay home and take care of children. Oh my God. Must stay His lost child has been able to find employment due to COVID, unwilling or able to participate in income employment due to risk of severe illness. Tenant is not able to work or miss. So basically, everyone that's on Social Security can get it. I got my veterans benefits, but I don't think I qualify for it. The household cannot receive duplicate rental assistance. So the requirements are pretty freaking low. Have I not been able? How many jobs are available right now? Like that's really, what it comes down to. And let me actually, how many people? Hold on a second. $45 billion in rental assistance is now available. Here's who qualifies. To be sure, this more. All right, and housing advocates say more money is needed. By one estimate, rentals arrears in the U.S. during the pandemic may be closer to $70 billion. First, $1,400 stimulus checks go to those with direct deposits. Stimulus checks can be garnished for unpaid debts. These senators want to send recurrent stimulus. Alright, still the pile of money can help millions of Americans stay in their homes. Here's what you need to know. Am I eligible to qualify? At least one member in your household has to be eligible for unemployment benefits or test in writing that they've lost income or incurred significant expenses due to the pandemic. You will need to demonstrate a risk of homelessness, which may include a past due rent or utility notice. In addition, your income level for 2020 can't exceed 80% of your area's median income. Those states have been directed to prioritize applicants who fall at 50% or lower, as well as those who've been out of work for 90 days or more. Are the funds available now? Not all states have set up their rental assistance programs yet. How to apply? Many areas already had existing rental assistance funds, and it will be enough. Be through one of those. How much can I give? Many of the programs don't have restrictions on the amount of funds you can receive. There will be a cap on how many months of rent you can get. Instead, there will be a cap on how many months you can get. Okay, so that's still going to affect a bunch of people because they're going to be owing, tremendous amounts of money, and they won't be able to rent Section 8, housing and stuff like that. So, but this was back in March, was it? Yeah, this is back in March. So, I'm pretty certain that things have stayed the same. They've only extended it. So, anyways, take care, be safe, be kind, stay strong. Love you all. And if you're in a precarious situation with your housing, hopefully this helps. And I hope that you didn't abuse the system, because you'll be punished. And it might take a little while, but always try to put an effort for it.